Hello. We are going to start another assignment for our Unit 3 test review. Today's is over dialogue, and we're focusing in particular over how to punctuate dialogue. The very first thing you're going to do is complete the Ed Puzzle lesson on slide 2. So go here, click this link. It's going to give you some information. It's going to ask you questions. You answer the questions as you go. That is required. Do that first. And then you're going to read all of the information and examples on slides 3 through 6. And then you're going to complete the practice on slides 7 through 14. All the way down to where you write your own. And once you're finished with all of that, you'll turn it into Canvas. So let's just go on in, and after you complete your Ed Puzzle questionnaire, and teaching is a little mini lesson, then you have to realize that dialogue is a conversation between two or more people or characters. Example, I'd love to go to the movies tonight, ! said James. So to have correct dialogue, you're going to put what the person is saying inside of quotation marks. Quotation marks, and you start off, it's the beginning of a sentence, so you have to capitalize it. I'd love to go to the movies tonight, ! Close quotation marks, said James, period. So you do not have to capitalize the said James because it's in the middle of a sentence at this stage. Then we have quotation marks. What time should we go? ? Quotation marks. Asked Carlos. So the question mark goes in the punctuation. So it's a sentence within a sentence. So you have to put the question mark or the exclamation point that goes along with what the person is saying inside the quotation marks. If what they are saying needs exclamation points or needs a question mark. James answered happily, quotation mark, and then you have to put a capitalization here because this is the beginning of James's sentence. Just like any sentence starts with a capital letter. I'm free right now if you are, ! Close quotation marks. So that is all correct. And then it's quotation marks, sounds great, ! Quotation marks, replied Carlos, period. So dialogue is tricky, but once you get the basic rules down, they don't change. So elements of dialogue. We have the speaker tag. Carlos said Amelia, asked Jordan, replied Mom, my friend whispered. These can go before or after the quotation. They never have quotation marks around them. Now the quotation, anything that the speaker says goes inside of quotation marks. So Carlos said, I love baseball. See, that has to go inside of the quotation marks. Let's go to the mall. When is this due? I'm so proud of you. I'm leaving soon. So these will go together. But no quotation marks around the speaker tag. Quotation marks around what the speaker says. Let's look at the examples. Louise said, that's the speaker tag, we need a comma to separate the speaker tag. And then we need quotation marks before and after the speaker's exact words. We won the last baseball game 3-0, period. So quotation marks. Quotes before and after the speaker's exact words. Quotation marks. Dinner's ready, everyone, ! Put the punctuation inside of the quotes. Close quotation marks. Yelled Tori, period. So that's the speaker tag. Right or wrong? So here is where you start your lessons. If the sentence below is correct, grab the check mark to it. If it is wrong, drag the X. So let's see what we have. Quotation marks. My youngest brother plays video games a lot. Close quotation marks, said Rosa. Okay, so there is a problem with this sentence. The problem with this sentence is, so I'm going to do this. The problem with this sentence is that the said is incorrect. So what you'll do is you're going to also drag the circles around the incorrect parts of the sentence. So on this one, we said this one was incorrect. My youngest brother plays video games a lot. So quotation marks around what the youngest brother said. But what's wrong is this comma should be moved over. And another thing that's wrong with this sentence is this S should not be capitalized. So we have, my youngest brother plays video games a lot, so I've made it wrong, and I've circled the part that's wrong. The next one is, my teacher explained, comma, quotation marks, capitalized. Our first test is on Friday, period, close quotation marks. This one's actually correct. There's nothing wrong with that sentence. You're going to do the rest of these on your own. And then once you have answered these, then you're going to look at multiple speakers. With more than one speaker, drop a line and add an indent each time the speaker changes. Here's some examples. I'd love to go to the movies tonight, said James. What time shall we go? Asked Carlos. James answered happily, I'm free right now if you are. Sounds great. So this is a bad example because we did not follow the rules of each time the speaker changes, drop a line and add an indent. So this is how it should look. Indent. I'd love to go to the movies tonight, said James. And then we have a new speaker. So we have to go to the next line, put an indent. What time should we go? Asked Carlos. New speaker. New line, indent. James answered happily, I'm free right now if you are. Same thing. So every time you have a new speaker, go to the next line, indent, and start with the new speaker is saying. That is the good version. Now you try it. So you're going to fix the dialogue. Edit the dialogue below to fix formatting issues and to make it correct. Okay, so what we're going to do is edit this. We're actually going to go in here and edit. So my dream in life is to hike up Mount Everest, said Joanna. So this is all correct. But we have a new speaker, said Drew. So that means that I need to tab over. And then I'm starting a new speaker here. Tab, wait, here. Well, that's way too scary for me, said Drew. No, we have an error here. So we need to, I'm going to change my font color to red. Change this to, we needed to add, well, that's way too scary for me. We need to add a set of quotation marks to end what the person is saying, said Drew. I think it would be so exciting to actually be on top of the world, replied Joanna. So then we have Joanna speaking again. So we have press enter. And that needs to be tabbed over. I think it would be so exciting to actually be on top of the world, replied. So we have an issue here. So I'm going to go back, make sure I'm going to push red and make it a lowercase. So we're going to go through and finish editing this one. Then we have write it. On the next slide, you will write your own dialogue conversation correctly using what you learned. You can go back to the lesson and examples slide anytime. Choose a pair of speakers below to write a dialogue between. Drag the circle over the choice you make. So if you want to talk about, drag the circle to the pair of speakers you choose. So then you write it. You, in this place below, write your own dialogue correctly between the two speakers you chose on the last slide. Each character must speak at least 3 times. So you're going to type that here. And then when you are finished, you will submit in Canvas for a daily grade.